Things are definitely moving at a quicker pace in the murder trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, who's on trial for shooting and killing 2 men and injuring a third during a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. And after 5.5 days of testimony, prosecutors have rested their case. But before they rested, they had the jury watch footage of Rittenhouse shooting his first alleged victim. The video captured using a drone is the clearest video of the shooting. It shows Joseph Rosenbaum following Rittenhouse before he fires his rifle, killing him. Back with me to discuss the latest developments in this trial are veteran prosecutor and legal contributor Paul Henderson and criminal defense attorney Pointer. All right, guys, so one of the last witnesses, well, first of all, before we get to the last witness, are we surprised that the prosecution has rested in just 5 days, Paul?
Yes, we are. Yes, I am. This is a disappointment to me. I was expecting more. If this were my case or one of my lawyers, I would be very frustrated at how this case proceeded and went on. And it's not lost on me as an African American that this is not the only case that, again, we're talking about vigilantism and defining it under the authority of law enforcement behavior. Again, inappropriately, again, in the context of the hidden topic that no one wants to talk about that we need to unpack, which is race. That is really important, and I think it's something that has to be at the forefront of every conversation addressing both the Ahmaud Arbery case and this case as well. And so this 5 days of testimony was not nearly enough for me, given the facts of what this case was. But I'm also conscious and aware of the bad rulings from the judge in this case, at least from my opinion, in terms of the prosecution, from the evidence that they wanted to present, how they wanted to put in the evidence, and then obviously the conclusion from today. I feel disappointed. I'm very anxious about where the jury is going to take this information and what they're going to do and how it's going to affirm or deny vigilantism in this country in terms of what next steps we need to take to broaden the definition of public safety that is race neutral.
Adanté, your thoughts on how quickly the prosecution wrapped their case in chief?
I have seen, DUI cases take, 5 days. So to see a multiple homicide case, get wrapped up in 5 days, to me, it's like the old adage, they just mailed it in. And so, yes, we have the judge's rulings, which Paul talked about, which were definitely a disappointment. But now we have kind of the wonk kind of prosecution show. I mean, when you rest your case, the prosecution fundamentally has an advantage built in. They're putting their case on first. They sit closer to the jury. They come in with the aura of being representing the state. And I just didn't feel any of that during the course of this trial. Instead, what I saw was more so giving direct, leading question and answering, which essentially built up the defense case. So instead of the prosecution being up at the time that they closed their case, I really feel like the defense is up. And the defense could really just point to all of the evidence the prosecution brought in to say, look, why are we here? Why are we even here? This young man, this young white boy was out defending the community against this mob of BLM protesters. What did you expect him to do?
It's just another reason for, there's so many people on Twitter, on just social media in general, saying that the defense is putting up a good case in terms of how they're cross-examining and not really hopeful that the prosecution is going to come back with a guilty verdict. Just the judge's rulings alone being in favor of the defense, it just paints a different story here. Paul, the medical examiner was the last witness that the prosecution put on, which was odd. But while the prosecution showed the images of the victims, it was hard for the jury. They were struggling to look at them. But so was Rittenhouse. He had a problem looking at those photos. How does showing those images help the prosecution's case?
Well, it's shocking, and you want to see the result of what the defendant did. You can't sanitize it from talking about it in esoteric terminology when you're forced to confront images like this. However, I would have expected a different type of testimony at the end, at the conclusion of a case like this. to me, it felt like a prelim. It felt like a scientific and a check the dots, mark the box, put in the case, rather than a passionate focus on the defendant's wrongdoing and the harm caused to the people that are dead, to the community that was there, and the criminal act from the defendant. I mean, I wish that I had seen a different presentation from prosecutors that looked more like the folks in the community that it's designed to serve. I mean, where is National Black Prosecutors Association and their voices from all of these courts and all of these cases that are going forward? I was, just like Adanté said, I felt disappointed, and I didn't feel like it was enough given the gravity. And I felt like there were odd choices made throughout the entirety of the prosecution in terms of how they put their case in, how they plan on arguing this case. It remains to be seen, but I've been a little frustrated and disappointed throughout the entirety of this trial.
Adanté, would you put it past the defense to strategize with their client, Kyle Rittenhouse, on how to behave during trial? I mean, he was visibly struggling to look at those images of individuals he shot to death. So, trial strategy?
Absolutely. You've been talking to your client for months about how to behave and act in the courtroom. These pictures are going to be shown, so you're going to discuss them with and show him, and then talk about what does it mean to him and how to essentially demonstrate to the jury that you're not some rogue military person who has a hardened heart that can just go out here and kill people. No, you want him to present as a frightened teenage boy, and oh my gosh, I can't believe what happened. I can't believe that this weapon that I was holding actually caused this type of carnage and damage. I'm sick, I'm hurt. My heart goes out to the families as long as I walk out of this courtroom, not in handcuffs or bracelets, as we say. So the whole thing is a dog and pony show, in my opinion, when you really boil it down. And he's playing his part. His part is to look like he has human emotion, and then to draw that emotion, to draw that sympathy from the jury. And that's how you do it.